first time since 2008, the New England Patriots will not be in the playoffs.
Spare me. I won that tournament. Chuck Norris.
Meanwhile,
look at these stressful people. So stressed out. I remember those days. Oh, it feels good to live life like a king. Oh, wait. When in doubt, pinky out. So stress-free, so relaxing. It's about damn time. Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's boy, the Great Patriot here, DGP, back again with another episode of Patriot Keys. And I know it's been a minute. I've been inconsistent. I know. 2021, we ain't here to talk about that. Let's talk about what's getting into the video. But before we do that, man, be sure for the new year, man, you hit that subscribe button, man. Leave a like on the video as well. And we're here to talk about this Cam Newton New England situation. And by situation, I mean, should return. You know, he's a free agent now. He can do whatever he wants once free agency starts. But let's kind of go back and look a little bit as going on this season as if we should bring him back or not. I will do a season kind of review, kind of go position by position, talk about some of the guys that popped out of the screen. Some of the guys are kind of disappointed and everything, and Cam will probably mention more about that. But this one is more centered around him. And if I feel like the Patriots should bring him back. First things first, man, let's talk about the stats, man. Cam Newton, Patriots finished 7-9. First time since 2008 that we don't make the playoffs. First time since 2002 that we have a losing record, man. So, yeah, Dynasty's officially over, man. If y'all didn't think that it was, the Brady Bill dynasty at least is officially over. The Patriot dynasty as we know it is probably officially over. If you didn't know before Brady left, now you know now. You know, 7-9 ain't too good around here. But let's go ahead and look at the stats, man. Cam Newton, man, had 2,600 passing yards, only 8 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. And no, that's not his halfway through the season stats. That's not him missing, 6, 8 games or something like that. No. He only missed 1 game due to COVID. That Kansas City Chiefs game, which Brian Hoyer sold, but we're not going to talk about that. 2,600 yards, 8 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Those were his passing stats. He had over 500 yards rushing. He had 12 touchdowns. Let's we can clarify that because again, he's not a scrambler. He's not a throwing quarterback. He's more of a scrambling kind of type situation. So yeah, like I said, he's not a scrambling quarterback and everything. So let's talk about these stats, man. And let's keep in mind too, 3 of those touchdowns, of those 8 touchdowns, came in Week 17 against the New York Jets, who honestly, I watched that game sparingly. I had it on the whole time, but I didn't care about that game, man. It didn't matter. It was just, I'd rather us lose, get higher draft pick status. But let's talk about Cam Newton and what he had to work with, man. So Cam Newton this year didn't play well. Without the stress and imagination, he didn't play well. He had some bright spots. Week 17 looked pretty good. The Seahawks week 2, he looked pretty good against that. Week 1 against the Dolphins, he looked pretty good against that. And he had a couple of bright spots throughout the whole season, but it was a lot of rough patches. Some people could say, well, Cam Newton, he didn't have a lot of help. And that's true. Didn't have a lot of help with the receivers. N'Keal Harry, we'll talk about you in a later video. He didn't have much help, for him to do the things that he was doing, his MVP year and stuff like that. However, I feel like that the problem is some of it's on Cam. You got to put responsibility on Cam. I mean, I know this is kind of his first time playing since his injury and everything, coming to a new team, a new system, which some people thought that it wasn't going to change much. I told people system, scheme, all that stuff changed a little bit team to team, depending on who you go to. But new system and everything, coming off his injuries and everything. So this is kind of like the first time we got a glimpse of Cam Newton post-injury and everything. And you could see in times of the season, he didn't look too good. It was kind of hit and miss per se. But the one thing that was just terrible was his throw mechanic is still bad, but it's just his decision making wasn't the best. And some of it is on the receivers. I already said that earlier. Some of it's on the receivers not getting open and stuff like that. That was a problem we had last year. But some of the pre-play reads, man, you got to be able to diagnose the blitzes, man. If you're in they're sending, 3 on the left side, you got to be able to account for that. Tell your line, slide protect to the left side and everything. When it comes to audible and checking out of plays, you got to be able to do that as well. And it's a lot of close games that we had this year that he did not pull out that I felt like that Tom Brady or another good quarterback would have did it. Maybe a guy like Matt Stafford pulls out those wins. Maybe we're in the playoffs. Maybe we're not having this conversation. But Cam Newton didn't play particularly well this year. I don't think anybody who can, even Cam Newton would say he didn't play too well. I will say he did say a lot of the right things. He was a leader. That his work ethic and everything, all that stuff's unmatched. And he worked hard for this point. And, we give him credit for that. But let's call it what it is, man. Cam Newton didn't play that well. Him coming back next year, I'm not a big fan. I wasn't a big fan of the signing, not because I didn't think Cam Newton was terrible or bad or nothing, but I just felt like having Jarrett Stidham there would give us a higher draft pick, and then we can draft Trevor Lawrence and now maybe Justin Fields as well. But that didn't happen. I think Cam Newton's problem this year wasn't just the receivers, wasn't just his decision making. This is also who Cam Newton is, and I think that we have to accept that as NFL fans. I accepted it before he came to New England. I knew what it was. I had a glimmer of hope. I was hoping maybe he can have a dash of that MVP magic, and it just didn't work out, man. So, for what it was, it didn't work out. Cam Newton come back next year, I'm not that big of a fan of. You can keep that, Bill. You can keep that. Cam Newton, I feel like he's just going to get another opportunity. I just feel like with this team, this situation, this isn't the right opportunity for him. And he even talked about it before. Maybe he has to take a backup quarterback job. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the path for him to get back to that starting quarterback level. When the turns are coming back to New England, I would not be a big fan of that, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm just not. That's just my take on it. I feel like we need a complete overhaul, complete rebuild. And I feel like the only older quarterback that I would take is Stafford, because Stafford is, fairly good. And again, the thing with Cam Newton is you got to be able to throw the football, man. He's only had one season his rookie year where he got over 4,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, 8 passing touchdowns from a quarterback that played 15 games. I'm sorry, regardless of the receivers, all that stuff. I know he had 12 touchdowns rushing. That is an indictment on itself. Like, how do you have more yards, more rushing touchdowns than passing touchdowns? Like, this team was bad, but some of it's also on Cam Newton too. Some of his decision making, the throws, the play calling wasn't the best and everything. But I'm just looking directly at Cam Newton. Him coming back next year to New England, not a big fan of. We can keep that. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Again, not saying Cam Newton was particularly terrible for what he had to work with during the situation. I give him a C+, man. But I just, look, man, let's just break it down, rebuild. The only older quarterback I will take is Stafford, because I feel like Stafford gives us a great shot at potentially going to Super Bowl, depending how Bill Belichick reworks the roster and everything. We got a lot of cap, but a lot of people got to get signed and everything. So I feel like it's just time to do a complete overhaul, rebuild. And Cam Newton is not the guy for that. Cam Newton's not the quarterback for it. I'm sorry. He's not the quarterback for a rebuild. And we don't have the pieces for him. So that's going to be it, y'all. Be sure you like, subscribe, comment. Let me know your thoughts down below. You think Cam Newton should be back in the New England Patriot uniform? That's all I got to say. Catch you next time, y'all. Love y'all. Stay safe. And let's keep going 2021 strong, man. Let's start this year strong. We finished all 2020 kind of strong a little bit. Let's, start the year strong and go for the rest of our lives, man. Catch you next time, y'all. Peace.